So I'm just gonna walk you guys through my leg day slash full body day. I technically do a press on this day as well. So for this day, I do squats first. Currently right now, for my programming, what I do is I do ascending sets. So just doing some triples, making sure that the skill practice is there. I came back from a almost 1 week trip, and squats started to feel like complete ass. um, so one thing that I have been doing that is drastically affecting it is that I am currently on a cut. So and I figured out that my belt at the current moment is or was way too loose. So I did bring it down one notch, and it has felt a lot better. But I think a part of that too was just acclimating again to lifting. And again, I switched gyms recently, so this is also like a new environment. So, and my squats are complete cheeks compared to my bench, for example. I should not be squatting this little, considering where my bench is, body weight, all of that. But I have a kind of a history with deadlifts and squats, in that I always got injured doing them prior to. I think a lot of this was just poor load management, but then also one big thing for squats was trying to squat like Clarence Kennedy. Completely ass to grass, toes pointed out, all of that. And I think that contributed to me not figuring out what squat form works best for me. And so from the videos you can maybe tell, but my toes are pointed relatively forward, and I barely have any toe flare at all. And I have found that this is a form that is very sustainable, and I squat pretty narrow relatively, about shoulder width, whereas most people will probably squat a lot wider than that. And then for this one right here, almost died hitting the safeties. So moving forward, I know that I need to ensure that I set the safety just one notch lower. A little bit of a scare, but recover until that's a good thing, because then that means that set would have been a lot easier than it was. And then I am doing some OHP on this day. My biggest priority right now in terms of strength is the overhead strength press, whether that be seated, standing OHP, whatever it is. So currently right now I do this day right after my bench day. So the OHP is just skill work, but I do plan to move all of my other days other than my primary bench day, or my primary upper body day, down one day. So I would have a rest day between that bench day and this current day that you're watching right now. So I think that would be good for the OHPs. So and as you can see before, I did try to do the OHPs with a belt, but honestly that just feels like ass. So I'm just gonna stick to beltless. And here I am specifically doing pause OHP. I'm trying to teach my body to keep it very close and really work on the hardest part of the movement, which is that initial / middle area, and that is typically where I fail. So I think if I can teach my body to build a lot of tension there, then my OHP should go up. And then this is the first time that I've deadlifted on kilos and a legitimate power bar, so just kind of testing the waters. My deadlifts do feel like cheeks as well. So just pretty much did a single here, and then did some doubles afterwards, but cut it pretty short. And then I did do some RDLs, but on this RDL machine, the 3 plates here were relatively easy. I got to above 10 reps for the set. So I will try to progress this. It is a pretty stable movement. I don't really have to think about my grip. I don't necessarily like to use straps, and I usually would just hook grip. But then also too, loading and unloading the weight's a lot easier on this one. And then we moved on to the belt squat. I love this belt squat. It's not like the traditional pit shark where all of the weights is loaded in front of you. You can see that the weights are kind of aligned to where my center of mass is. I forgot the exact brand of this one, but when I first started here, the gym owner was telling me about it, and that this a belt squat, it's a lot more humbling. It's a lot harder to lift a lot more weights, and I'm just trying to ease into the movement here. It does feel really good. I am trying to somewhat pause all of the reps as well. Again, just prioritizing my knee health. Trying to get a lot of blood flow in there. And I may just progress with reps, or, may just let my ego get the best of me and continue to add weights week to week. But these felt pretty phenomenal. I love the belt squats. That is one of my favorite leg movements. The pendulum squat has been pretty phenomenal as well. I've been doing belt squats for a little longer though, so I do kind of like the belt squats more currently. But with the pendulum squat that I'm doing now, that might change. I do enjoy both movements. Both movements do really hit the quads well. And I'm really trying not to do too much because, I can spend hours in the gym just doing a million movements, but I know that that's not the best way to progress. Sometimes less is more. So, and of course have other life priorities. And then just a little bit of a quad flex, am getting a little bit more separation with the cut. So, and then I did do some other movements, but this is one of the last ones I'm doing, and that is just the Nordic curls on the GHR. I personally do not like this one, the GHR that is. I love the movement, but I think I'm going to stick to the traditional one. This one has a knee pad at the bottom, and honestly, the thigh portion of it just rolls too much. So, but that's pretty much it for this workout. I'll catch you guys on the next one.